Hi, how are you? Are you ready for your second French lesson with me? Oh, okay. I heard there was some confusion last time. I am from Canada. I am not from France, but my first language is French. Yes, there is a province in Canada whose first language is French, and this is where I come from. It's called Quebec. Alright? So let's get started right away. For this lesson, I think it's one of my favorite lessons. We are going to be learning about useful words, small sentences, things like that. Things that you can use every day, alright? I love this lesson. I feel like it's the most fun one and most practical as well. And it's also kind of easy. It's just vocabulary and you can just remember it. Okay, so let's start with a very important word in every language. Oh, my Sharpie doesn't work well. How are you doing? Did you have a good week? Okay. Yeah, I did as well. Did you do your homework? Well, you still have time to do it. You have to subscribe, okay? The button is down below. Alright? Is it done now? Yeah, if you want bonus points, you can like the video as well. Okay? You're a good student. So let's get started. So the first word we're learning today, which is also very important because you use it all the time, or I hope you do. Thank you. This is a very important word, right? Well, in French it is merci. 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 Merci beaucoup. So, what does beaucoup mean? It means like thank you very much. It's more than just thank you. So, if you were to add very much at the end, it would be beaucoup. So this word, beaucoup, this beau means beautiful for masculine in French. Like if you want to say a man is beautiful, you would say cet homme est beau. This man is beau. And cou actually means neck. It's the word for neck. There's no reason why it's like that. It doesn't mean. So if you wanted to say someone has a beautiful neck, you would say someone has a beau cou. But it also means like a lot. It means a lot in French. Okay? And so you can see you have the B, then you have E, A, U. These together, E, A, U, together, it's the sound O. Okay? And this O, written like this, actually means water in French. This means water. But it sounds, if you just read it like that, you wouldn't know how to pronounce it, right? O, but it's the sound O. Okay, there are many ways to write the sound O in French, actually. And as you can see here, the P at the end is silent. Beaucoup. Okay? So next word would be, so if someone says thank you to you, you would say you're welcome, right? You're welcome. And in French you say de rien. De rien. Rien means like nothing. So it means like you're welcome, de rien. De rien. You're welcome, de rien. Kind of easy one, right? Then let's talk about a word that I personally like to use, and that I think a lot of people kind of, you know, when people think about French, they think about the language of love, right? So let's learn about I love you. In French, I love you is je t'aime. Je is I, t'aime, love you. This is the verb. I just want you to remember the pronunciations and how to say them. You don't have to worry about the spelling and all of that for now. This is something that we will see a bit later, right? But I'm just kind of explaining it to you because it's not as, this one is not as simple as the one in English, right? So anyway, je t'aime. I love you. Je t'aime. This is like the you. This is what you love. It means like the other person. Je t'aime. This is like speaking to one person. So if you wanted to say to many people like I love you, all of you, you would say je vous aime. Je vous aime. So instead of the T here, which means like one person, vous means you, but plural. Vous aime. And this is the same verb, aime. J'aime, je vous aime. Okay? So let's go back to our common phrases, sentences. Let's say, excuse me. Right? Because this is also something that is, excuse me. This is also something that we use a lot, right? Every day, excuse me. Excuse me. In French is excusez-moi. Excusez-moi. Excuse me. Excusez-moi. This is a Z, by the way. Excusez-moi. Moi is me. Et puis excuse, excusez with the Z at the end. This is how you would conjugate a verb at the third person plural in French. So anyway, it's like saying to a lot of people, excusez-moi. 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 Or another way of saying like kind of excuse me is pardon. Right? In French it's the same. Pardon. Right? So if you're walking on the street, whatever, pardon, 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 pardon. The same way it's spelled. Pardon, pardon. Okay? Next, let's say you want to ask someone, how are you? How are you doing? Right? You can say, how are you? In French, you say, comment allez-vous? Sorry for my writing, I mean, it's kind of hard to write like this. How are you? Comment allez-vous? Comment allez-vous? Comment allez-vous? Oops, missed an S here. Comment allez-vous? So how, comment, are you, allez-vous? Okay? Or a more informal way of saying it. This is like, you know, you're addressing a a crowd kind of comment allez-vous. A more informal way, if you're just talking to your friends, whatever, you wouldn't say comment allez-vous because this is plural. This is if you're addressing either more than one person or if you're addressing someone in a formal way. But if you want to say informal, you would say ça va? And you can say this to more than one person. You know, if you're going up to your group of friends, you say ça va, ça va, ça va, ça va. You don't say comment allez-vous. This is formal, right? Ça va? Ça va. Ça va. So here there's a CD at the, well, it's not well done. Let me do it. This is your C, and you add a CD, and this makes it a soft C. Because C with an A like this is a hard C. Ka, ka, ka. And if you say, if you add a CD, that becomes a sa. Kind of the same sound that you would do it with an S and an A in front. That's sa, sa, ka. Okay, ka like this. If you write like this, C-A-C-A, that's caca, means poop in French. Caca, caca. Okay, this is pronounced like a K. Ça is soft. Ça va? Okay. Then let's say you want to say, you need something, you would like something. You say, I would like. In French, you say, je voudrais. I would like. Je voudrais. Je voudrais. Je voudrais. So I would like a cup of tea. Je voudrais une tasse de thé. Je voudrais une tasse de thé. Remember we talked about tea last time we learned the alphabet? T in English, T-E-A in French, T-H-E accent aigu, thé. And they are both pronounced like the letter in their own language. Tea, thé, right? I would like a cup of tea. Je voudrais une tasse de thé. Je voudrais une tasse de thé. Oh, let's talk about another very useful word. Almost forgot it. No and yes. The writing, so bad. Okay, no and yes. You might already know them. No is non. Non, see, there's just another N at the end. No, non. And actually, if you write non like this, N-E-N-O-M, like this, non, it's pronounced the same, but this one means name. Your name. Non, name. It's pronounced the same, these two. Even though this is an N, this is an M, pronounced the same. Non, non. So if you do an exam, whatever, and you have to write your name here at the top, it would be written non. And you write your name. Yes is we. We. O-U-I. We. Yes, we. Then let's say maybe. M-A-Y-B-E. In French is P-E-U-T. Peut-être. 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 Maybe. Peut-être. Peut-être. Maybe. Peut-être. Okay? Seems complicated. It's not really complicated. Peut-être. This, written in a different way, can also mean something else, but we're not gonna go over there today, but I'm just telling you a lot of people in French make mistakes with this. They don't write it the right way. Sometimes they forget the T, sometimes they forget the accent on the E stuff, okay? Then maybe you want to say okay. In French you say okay as well, but you can also say another way of saying okay, which is a bit more formal, would be d'accord, d'accord, okay, d'accord. If you want to say like, are you okay with this, you'd probably say es-tu d'accord. So those are very important everyday words, sentences. Let's move on to more conversation things, right? So if you want to say, if you want to talk with someone, maybe the first thing you would ask them is, do you speak English, right? Because you're an English speaker. So if you're going up to someone in another country, you may want to know, do you speak English? Do you speak English? In French would be parlez-vous? My Sharpie is kind of dying. Anglais. Or this is more formal, or if you're speaking to more than one person, more informal. Tu parles anglais? Okay. Do you speak English? Parlez-vous anglais? Tu parles anglais? Parlez-vous anglais? Tu parles anglais? Or sometimes people will say tu parles l'anglais with an L apostrophe here. Or sometimes people will say tu parles en anglais. Different ways of saying it. It's very informal, right? Then they would say yes or no, or they would say un peu, which means a little bit. L-E-T-T-L-E bit would be peu. That's an N. A little bit, un peu, which is something you could say, right? If someone asks you, do you speak French? Or maybe they would probably ask you in French, right? They would say, parlez-vous français? They would say, parlez-vous français? Français, this is how you say French. We learned that. Parlez-vous français? Tu parles français? Tu parles le français? Tu parles en français? And then you could say, oui, un peu. Or you could just say, non, because you're feeling uncomfortable and you don't want to speak French. But you know a little bit of French, so you could say, un peu. Or you could say, un petit peu. This is even less than un peu. Un petit peu. This is even smaller. Un petit peu. Right? Petit means little, small. Okay? Peu means like, well, it doesn't work to explain it to you in English. Petit means like petit, like a small object. But peu means little, like how you say in English. Like, I speak little English, right? Peu. Un petit peu. Okay, you can say that. Un petit peu. Un petit peu. People tend to not pronounce it petit, right? They pronounce it un petit peu. So do you forget the kind of E here? You kind of say petit. Un petit peu. Un petit peu. People don't pronounce it petit. Un petit peu. Un petit peu. Un petit peu. Okay? Just explaining to you a bit of the pronunciation, everyday pronunciation. Now if you want to say I don't know, because that's another very useful answer to have. It is je ne sais pas. Je ne sais pas. I don't know. You ne sais pas. So in French, whenever you have pas, you have to have ne in a sentence. But when you speak, people tend to forget the ne. They don't say it. So they say je sais pas. Okay, you kind of drop the N-E. Ne. When you write always put it there. But when you speak informally, you say je sais pas. Je sais pas. I don't know. Je sais pas. Or even more like casual is je sais pas. Not je sais, but je sais pas. Is how people speak. Je sais pas. This is, you can't write that. This is not the proper way to write. Okay, if you're writing something, you never write like that. You never write like that. You always write like this. Je ne sais pas. Je sais pas, je sais pas. So it's how people speak. Okay? And no one says the N. It's very rare. Everyone will speak like this, and then if you pronounce it fast, it's gonna be like je sais pas, je sais pas, je sais pas. Okay? So I think that's enough for today's lesson. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I hope that you will revise at home so that you remember all of this hopefully by next week, or maybe I don't know when next class will be, maybe in 2 weeks, depends. So if you have any questions, you can always let me know, okay? And I'll try to answer them. Okay, so I look forward to seeing you again for our next lecture very soon. Okay, bye. La bise.